Welcome back. We're at the northern terminus of the Sheltowee Trace National Recreation Trail. As you can see in the video, it's backwards, but that's what it says.
Yeah. Sheltowee gets its name. It was a given name from the Shawnee tribe. I think it was the Shawnee tribe to Daniel Boone when he was adopted into the tribe, and it means big turtle.
Big turtle.
Big turtle. So instead of following little white paint along the trail, we'll be following little painted turtles to mark the trail.
Yeah, the trail's confusing. The trail is anywhere from 334 to 360 miles long, depending on what source you look at. So on all trails, the old gut hook, it's 334 miles. There's been a couple of reroutes, so we really don't know. We'll see as we go. We don't know if all trails, not all trails, but far out is updated. We'll see. If you're familiar with the Ozarks at all, so far just driving in here, it looks like it's
very Ozarky.
Kind of Ozarky. I think it's gonna be a lot of quick up and downs.
I think the ecosystem is very similar, and the temperature, I think, will be very similar.
Next 3 days in the 80s, and then it drops into the 60s. We can just suffer through the next couple of days. We'll have good hiking weather. We parked in Moorhead. The Trail Association has made available 2 parking spots, basically right in the middle of Moorhead, Kentucky, for Sheltowee Trace hikers.
Through hikers.
It's pretty neat because we walk from here, basically walk right back to the truck in about 2 days, about 25 miles. And then we'll head south, and we've arranged a shuttle. Obviously we're just starting the trail, but I would recommend do a lot of research on shuttles and call as many people as you can. It's the southern half of the trail is very, very remote. We have 2 options for shuttles once we get down south to get back to Moorhead where the truck is. We'll see how it pans out. We'll keep you updated along the way. So it'll be a good little adventure, and see you down the trail. Stop for a little pack break and show you a little video of a cookie that our Trail Angel shuttle person gave us. Well, we've already told you the story about why it's called the Sheltowee Trace. How could we not run across the turtle shell? It's pretty cool. Ran across our first non-furry friend. Not being a snake connoisseur, couldn't tell you what kind other than big. Probably about 5 foot long. Hanging out on the trail, so
now we gotta get around him.
See if we can figure out a way around this dude without disturbing him too much. Thank you, Mr. Clark, for the spigot. About mile 9.7. I'll fill up with some water and spend the night here in the valley and hit it in the morning. Well, here we are, day 1. Made it to mile marker 9.2. We reached a place called Clark Park. Pretty cool setup. Somebody has a little private park here, and they encourage you to take a break, clean up after yourself. There's a spot behind here that you can set up a tent. We'll spend the night here. Pretty neat stuff. Thank you, the Clarks, for something as simple as this is actually while you're on the trail is pretty cool. So thank you.
Hey, hey, wake up!
Man, just having a dream that I was on a fire truck again. Wow. Wait a second.
You are.
Pretty cool. You boys at IFD, you got your new rescues and your squads. Okay, I'm on rescue 57 now. Enjoy. Good morning, October 3rd. Here we are. We're leaving Clark Park. We just spoke with Mrs. Clark. Very accommodating, very nice place. It's like any other place on the trail, you know, just be respectful and clean up after yourself. And I think this place will be here for quite a while. Got about, I don't know, 14 or 15 miles to go today with, by all accounts, very little water, so we're carrying some water. Profile doesn't look bad. Be a 10 or 11 miles of road walking.
One of our hotter days.
Be in the mid to high 80s today, so we'll check in later and let you know how it's going. We've reached mile marker 11.4 and come upon this swinging bridge. This ought to be interesting getting across. And it is quite unstable. So take your time across this thing. It's definitely a swinging bridge. Swinging like you wouldn't believe. Fun stuff you encounter on the trail.
Whoa, looks like the wood's rotted.
Looks like she's speeding up just to get off of it.
I am. And no water to dump into, just along.
At mile 13.8, encounter a little roadblock. Looks like it's about 3/10. Get down over Interstate 64 and then jump back off this road. So nice little narrow road. Just be careful. We're walking along here. It's a pretty long road walk. It's dry. We've passed a couple of little vernal ponds they've dug along the way, but in a pinch you could use the water. But for the most part, this is about a 10-mile dry stretch along this road. Probably really won't have water till you get to Eagle Lake or maybe the rec center at the college when you get into Moorhead. Good morning. August 4th. We camped back in there. We're at an undisclosed location near the campus of Morehead State. If you look back in the woods, you'll find something pretty cool. Something that we've been fighting the last 2 or 3 days. I don't know if it shows up very well, but big spider webs everywhere. So we're gonna go into town this morning and kind of reset, resupply, check things out. We're walking through the campus of Morehead State, and so far, just follow the little turtles. It hadn't been too bad. I guess if we go at their pace, it would take us forever to get through here, but so here in Morehead, it's called Freedom Park. I don't know if you're into things like this, like we are. Just helps you remember and appreciate the country, people that come before us to give us the ability to hike these trails. These are overlooked by most people, probably overlooked by most people in this town, quite frankly. And that's sad, but they're very nice. Little memorial park. An old courthouse in the background there. It burned down twice in the 1860s and rebuilt in 1899, so pretty historic town. Here we are, October 5th, leaving Morehead and the Clearfield area. Nice little road walk. You're gonna have probably 5 or 6 miles of road walk out of Morehead. Now we'll update you a little later, but it's a pretty decent shoulder here, so there's gonna be comments of we should be walking in facing traffic. It's a nice wide shoulder. If I'm gonna get drilled, I'd rather not see it, so. Well, we made it to the Morehead Ranger Office Visitor Center area. Been a pretty nice walk today. We did run across some scat. Definitely that of a bear. So they're in the area. I'm gonna take a break here, get some water, relax. We're making good time today. We'll see how it goes and keep you posted on tonight with the rain. Made it to Cave Run Lake. Had a nice stop at the visitor center. Very accommodating. Good water. Got some bathrooms. Nice little rest stop. Push up the side of this lake tonight. Camp up here a ways and see what we can get into tomorrow. As always, be careful of all these bridges that we cross. Some can be treacherous.